Hello and welcome. So today, Jagex have just released a bunch of new updates into the game. But the thing I'm more interested in is this here. The announcement that there's going to be some upcoming balance changes for the Animate Dead and the Fractured Staff of Armadyl. Now we don't know exactly what these changes are yet, but it's safe to assume that it will be some kind of nerf. So what I want to do is ask if it actually warrants a nerf. Does the FSOA really need to be nerfed? So to find out, I decided to put it to the test. I did 20 kills at raksha using my best magic gear, and then I compared the kill times to 20 range kills that I also did. And the results might be quite surprising. Let's first take a look at the kills. So starting off with Mage, I'll show you the best kill I got of the 20 kills that I did. It's pretty simple to use the Fractured Staff of Armadyl. All I do is use the Sunshine ability, and then I get 5 stacks of Insight Fear, use Tsunami, Staff Spec, and then I use Limitless followed by Smoke Tendrils. Now Smoke Tendrils gives me 4 guaranteed crits, and thanks to the Tsunami buff, it just restores all of my adrenaline whilst also dealing a lot of damage. You can see that the first phase is already over. And all I really need to do now is alternate between the Armadyl Battle Staff and some of my thresholds. Also, Omni Power is a very powerful option here. But yeah, I've already taken out the first 2 phases, and then I start dealing with the pulls next. So yeah, just Bladed Dive, all of the pulls, pretty simple stuff. And then getting back onto the boss, I'm pretty much just waiting for my staff spec to come back here, so I'm doing some filler abilities. And as soon as my staff spec is available, I will Tsunami again, followed by the staff spec. And then, yeah, just do whatever I can to crit. And that is it for the first 3 phases of the boss fight. So I phase this at 121. Pretty decent phase time. Now here I still have 10 seconds left of the staff, but once you go through from phase 3 to phase 4, you do lose that Tsunami crit buff. So I make sure not to use the Armadyl Battle Staff here. So now I'm basically just filling in with whatever I can until all my abilities are ready again, and then I can do another staff rotation. So around about now I use Sunshine again. I collect a little bit of the anima for slightly more damage, and then as soon as I'm able to, I will Tsunami and then Staff Spec. So there we go, there's the Tsunami and Staff Spec. And once again, I use my Limitless and Smoke Tendrils, follow it up with Omni Power and ABS. I did slightly mess up on this kill because I got hit by the stun, but the boss is already dead, and that gives me a kill time of 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So a pretty damn fast kill, which all comes down to the fact that I crit a lot with the staff. Alright, so moving on to the range kills now. So this was the fastest range kill that I got. I pretty much start off with a Death Swiftness, and I use the Seren Godbow spec as soon as I can. The Seren Godbow is very strong here, because the boss is quite a large enemy. And now I'm basically trying to time it so that my Death Sport arrows can get me a free incendiary shot. And once I get that, I start unloading abilities such as my Eldritch Crossbow, go through my thresholds, I use my Dead Shot. There's quite a lot going on, it's kind of hard to explain it all. But yeah, with the extra adrenaline, I can dump a couple of Dark Bows. Again, as soon as my Seren Godbow is available, I will use that. And you can see that I'm gaining a lot of adrenaline back here thanks to the crits. So it works in a similar kind of way to how Magic does, but it is a little bit more tricky to use, I will admit that. But again, I just Bladed Dive the pools once I get to this phase. Now here's where it gets a bit interesting, so rather than doing a full rotation, I can just use my Eldritch Crossbow again. and increase my damage through that. Again, a Seren God Bow. And I'm just using a few basics to finish off, and there we go. A phase time of 132. So about 10 seconds slower to phase it. So moving on to the final phase. I'm now going to try and time my Death Spore arrows again so that I can get a free incendiary shot, and then I'll also use Death Swiftness and Adrenaline Potion. Oh, I got fairly lucky on the crits there. Get the free incendiary shot, Death Swiftness, and now I can start unloading all of my abilities. So once again, I use the Eldritch Crossbow, I use the Seren God Bow, and just go through my thresholds. The main thresholds I use are Snapshot as well as Rapid Fire. There's also the Bow of the Last Guardian special attack to consider. So again, there's a lot to keep track of when using range. And then to finish off, because I have a ton of adrenaline left, I can use some Dark Bow specials. But that managed to get me a kill time of 2 minutes 34.8. So honestly, it's not much slower than the fastest mage time, only 4.8 seconds difference. Alright, so let's take a look at the final results here. So starting off with the magic kills, you can see that the fastest time was 2 minutes 30. And there's quite a few times around this range, going up to 240, and some going into the 250s. But if we go all the way down, you can see that the slowest kill was 3 minutes 21, which is actually 51 seconds slower than the fastest time that I got. That is quite a significant difference. Now this is mainly down to the fact that on one kill I got crits, and on another kill I didn't get crits. It's really that simple. I didn't do anything different in these kills. So now let's hop over to the range kill times, and the fastest time was 2 minutes 34.8, which is only 4.8 seconds slower than the fastest mage kill that I got. And again, there's quite a few kills around this range, moving into the 250s, but you can see from the slowest kill time, it was 3 minutes and 4 seconds, which is 17 seconds faster than the slowest mage kill. Now this is a small sample size, do bear that in mind, but I think the results are pretty clear here. Range seems to be a bit more consistent. And I can actually calculate the average kill time of these 20 kills. So we'll see what the range time was. 2 minutes 46.7. Now if we hop on over to the average mage time, 2 minutes 50.3. So around 4 seconds slower than the range time. Okay, so now I'm going to show a side-by-side comparison of the fastest mage kill and the slowest mage kill. I won't go through the whole thing, but as you can see, both kills start off exactly the same. A Sunshine at the same time, Tsunami at the same time, a Staff Spec at exactly the same time, and actually the kill on the right, the slowest kill, is slightly ahead in terms of damage at this point. But you will soon see how things take a turn. So on the left, I carry on critting. Everything I do just gives me more crits, and that means more adrenaline. And I can keep using the Armored Battle Staff. On the right, I just don't get the crits. That's literally the only difference, is I was critting on one kill and not critting on the other. And I think this just goes to show how much of a difference that really makes. So I'm already clearing the pools on the fast kill. On the slowest kill, I'm still on the second phase. And yeah, there we go. I've just finished the second phase, moving on to the pools on the slowest kill, whilst I'm approaching the final phase on the fast kill. So, yeah. I don't really need to show any more than that. It's pretty obvious why one kill was faster than the other. And that's really the main problem I have with the Fractured Staff of Armadyl, is it's just so heavily reliant on crits. If you don't get the crits, the kill times are significantly slower. But that does mean, on average, I tend to get faster kill times with range. So let's get back to the whole point of this video. Should the FSOA be nerfed or not? Well, in my opinion, no, I don't think it should get nerfed. Because when you compare it to the current standard of range, there really isn't that big of a difference. However, I do think some rebalancing would be pretty good for the staff, making so it's not so heavily reliant on crits, but in terms of the actual power of the staff, I think that needs to stay around about where it is. Now, perhaps someone that's better with Mage might be able to get more out of it than me, because I am predominantly a ranger. Now, I can't compare to melee because I don't really use melee, so it definitely wouldn't be fair for me to compare the two. But yeah, I guess we'll find out what they do with it. But those are my thoughts on the staff and where it currently sits in the game. I think it's been in the game for too long to just make a drastic change to it. We'll find out what happens though. With that being said, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.